In this form drawing exercise, the 3 bands I've drawn up all have the same number of dots. So it's 9 with 8 underneath and 9 underneath that. So all 3 bands have the same amount of dots. Draw up the band here, the top one, where we've got a stop in from the second dot running down to the second dot, and then from the 5th dot running down to the 5th dot, and then again from the 8th dot running down to the 8th dot. And then underneath that, again, there's 9 over 8 over 9, but I've put in the stop a bit further in. So this time I want you to put in a stop from the 3rd dot running down, and then from the 5th dot running down, and then from the 7th dot and then running down. The bottom band is the same as this band here. I'll show you in a minute why. So you can try and do these bands yourself now, and then come back and see how they're done. So for the top band, we're going to use 3 separate lines, and we're going to start our first line here at the first bottom dot. We're going to come up and over and then down, and then we hit our second stop, so we turn, come back, and then we go under our first stop, then we come round, and here again we hit a stop and come back, and we meet up with our line. So that's our first line, starts here. The second line that I'm going to draw up, I'm going to start here. So I'm starting it in front of my 4th dot, and here I come up, over, come down, and then I hit my stop, so I turn, come back, round, and here I meet up with my second line. So here I choose to start my second line. Then my third line, I start here. I come down, up, hit my stop, turn around, come down underneath, and then up, hit my stop, turn around, and meet my line where I started it. So here is where our third line starts. Now I'm just going to draw this up quickly with the colours. The next ribbon that I want to show you, I've drawn up the same amount of dots with the same number of stops twice, and I'll show you why now. So we start off by drawing our ribbon. We come all the way through here, turn around, then we hit our stop, and then we come back up over, and then under our stop, and over our stop, and back. But as you can see, there are a couple of dots in separate places that are not caught by the ribbon. So in order to catch these dots, we need to start a line so we catch them. So that was the first line we started here, and our second line I started here, and then you can probably see that it would make sense to start our third line here. Now, the thing that's nice about this ribbon is that we can actually begin to work with shaping our ribbon a little bit more. We can transform this ribbon, start actually trying to beautify it if you like. So I know that I have, once I know my ribbon and I know which stops I have and kind of roughly what my shapes will look like. Obviously, because it's a ribbon, it has these kind of pointy curves, but we can change that. So I can say, well, I want a point down here at the end. I want points at the end, but maybe I want it to be rounded. So I start and I simply round all the way around, come to a point, and then I know that I'm coming down this way. So then here I want to make a point in the middle, so I'm coming down, and then here I'm coming round and up but into a point, so it mirrors this line here. Then I come down, and here again I want to round my band and into a sort of point. And then I want to move up from that into a curve, down into a curve, up into a curve, and down and into a point. So I'm meeting. So here I have this kind of rounding mirrored by a rounding here. And then you can say, well, what's going to happen with these things here? Well, to me, these 4 dots are nice, and I could keep them sort of sharp. I could make them a kind of really sharp shape, or I could make them rounder. And I think that they are nice as a round shape. So I could say, well, I want to just make it circular. That's really, and of course I need to catch all the dots here as well. So that's really the thing that you can start doing with this. You can start playing with this, and then you can do things like say, well, I'm going to play with this so that I have nice colors that run through my band. I hope this will give you a bit of inspiration and you'll go and play with this on your own. And don't forget to draw up your bands with clear colours and rub out the dots and stops if you want them to be really beautiful. I'll be back next week with a new foam drawing exercise for you.